Welcome, David. I'm so happy
Hello.
that you're here. How's your day going so far?
Busy. Yeah, lots of stuff to
Busy?
do. Yeah. Getting ready for the wedding season coming up, right? So we just acquired a new photo booth. So we're trying to get that all figured out and get it ready to go. So we don't, you know, everybody can enjoy it.
Exciting. Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me today. I have David Gale with me with the Euro Productions Entertainment Services. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your business?
Okay. My business has been in operation for about 20 years. My history, my wife doesn't like me to tell people how long I've been in the industry because she thinks it makes it, it's just, she goes, no, you got to make it sound like you're a little more fresh. So I've been
Yeah,
in the
you're
industry
excited.
for probably about 40 years.
Oh,
So coming on 40 years. And I started really young. Like when I was 10 years old, I started in the entertainment industry. And I actually started as a magician. And then I ended up on CBC and in parades and signing autographs as a 10-year-old. And I was like, holy man, I love this life. And then when I was 12, I got into the DJ industry. And when I was 16, I started working in nightclubs. And when I was 22, I started working in radio and television. And then when I was 30, I started my own DJ school in Calgary, Alberta. And it was a third DJ school across Canada. And then I built my company from there. And now we are where we are today. I run a radio station. Actually, I run a few radio stations now. So a lot of stuff has happened in my career, but it all lends itself to entertaining and making people happy.
that's amazing. And how many DJs do you have within your company?
We've got a good solid four DJs that work with us. We're called a multi-op DJ company. And then we've got other guys who step in case of emergencies or last minute bookings or, whatever to back people up or whatever. So we'll have a few guys just kind of on the fringe that are helping us out if we need it.
Amazing. So you're very well experienced. So you've seen it all probably like a million times.
I think so. Yeah. I think I've seen it all a million times. Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favorite part of a wedding?
Oh, making people happy. That's my favorite part. That's the simple part. I mean, when you get the music that's inspiring people, that's the part I love the most.
Amazing. And why did you go into this industry?
Uh, well, I guess at such a young age. Oh, look, my wife's back there. she she decided to join us, I guess.
Okay. She's like, no, never mind.
That's so I went into the industry. I would say, as a young kid, I was just looking for something to aspire to, I guess. It's hard to say. I was trying to keep myself busy at a young age. So, instead of getting in trouble, I decided I wanted to maybe go into business. You know what? I think my dad probably had a little bit of a influence on me because he was always trying to invent things, and he was an entrepreneur and he was trying to build businesses. And so I kind of watched what he was doing, and I think I kind of took after him a little bit, and I just started doing it myself. But I wasn't mowing lawns or doing a newspaper route. I was doing magic shows and DJing by the age of 12 years old, 10 years old. So
That's amazing. So you do have like a knack for this entrepreneur business.
yeah, it seems to be a bug that you can't get rid of once you start it. Yeah, you can't get rid of it. So
That's amazing. Have you worked with wedding planners before? And in your opinion, do you feel that's a benefit for couples?
working with the wedding planners, like no, so yes and yes. So we actually have wedding planners that we work exclusively with, and so we're always trying to build those relationships. We of course know that when you are working with somebody who knows your system and understands what your needs are, it's not a guessing game every time you do a wedding or any function, right? So you always know how to work with each other, and when you're working with people who get along with each other, that makes it even better, right? So it makes it a seamless transition, a seamless event, even when things are going wrong, which often things do happen in the background that we're sorting out that nobody should know about. We are sorting it out, and that's why we're there. And if we can work with each other, so often there's times that I tell my DJs, you know what, if the wedding planner needs help to do something because they're running a little bit behind on something, or they were throwing a curveball, get in there and help them. And sometimes the wedding planners help us too. So
That's awesome. It's a good working relationship,
yeah,
and
of
I feel
course.
that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. The synergy and the collaboration is so important when you're doing an event.
And there's so many of us, like there's so many wedding planners out there, there's so many DJs out there, and really we're just this giant team along with like the
Mm-hmm.
florist and the decor, and
That's
we're
right.
really here to make the couple's dreams come true and make it as seamless as possible.
Yeah. Well, and if we could talk to each other during the planning process and understand what the client wants, then everybody's on the same page. Right. And it's like having a football team and everybody knows exactly what they need to do for each play and they get it done and they score the touchdown. And that's a successful event.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree to that. What is the hardest part of your job?
Ooh, the hardest part of my job? Hardest part of my job. I mean, probably the hardest, and it's not so hard anymore, but I'll tell you what was hard for me growing, like as I was getting into the industry and I was starting to get more experience in the industry. One of the hardest things is to mentally stay focused during the show. And that's because you can be thrown curveballs left, right, and center. People can come up and say, we need you to change it and go this direction. We need you to do this. We need you to something technical has gone wrong. I need to get that fixed so the show can go on. But you need to stay mentally focused on what your job is, which is to make sure that everybody has an unforgettable event. And when you're creating that memorable event, again, like I said before, you can't let everybody know when certain things are happening that could throw somebody off. And if you're not as experienced, then and when I wasn't as experienced, then it would throw me off. It would throw me off, and I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh man, I've only got 15 seconds before I got to throw on the next song. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be playing because I had to deal with somebody came over and they had a whole list of requests they wanted to talk to me about, and that took time. And so, what am I supposed to be playing right now? I want to make sure I keep this energy going in the right direction. And you have to, when you got that memory, of all those 10,000, 20,000 songs in your head, and you're trying to pick the right one at the right time, man, you can derail yourself very quickly. And so that was probably one of the most challenging things to learn. And also what's challenging for a lot of young DJs, because I've taught a lot of young DJs, is sometimes an event, I equate it to working out. So when you get into workout, you don't immediately start, going as hard as you possibly can. You got to warm up. And when, a dance floor is kind of the same thing. So people have just finished their speeches. They just finished eating. They're maybe full. They're talking to people they haven't seen for 20 years. So they're trying to catch up. The drinks are starting to flow, but they are not fully flowing yet. And so you have to build things up. And so a lot of people, when they don't see that dance floor, built up immediately right at the start of the night, they panic and they go, what do I need? They play the best stuff right away. And you go, no, save that. That people need to get into the rhythm. They need to get into the mood. It's a psychological game. And when you start to understand the psychological game and don't take it personal when people aren't dancing right away, then you can sustain the entire night.
I love that tip. That's awesome. What would you what would you need from a couple to make your job easier?
Oh, just information, communication, um, constant, touching base with each other all the time. And I would say putting me in contact with the other vendors that they're working with. Because again, like we talked about that earlier too. So when we can communicate with other vendors to find out what they're doing and how they're doing it, and how we can all create that synergy and that perfect event for people, then it goes a lot better.
Do you recommend the do not play lists?
Oh yeah, we've got that.
Yeah.
We've got the do not play lists. Yeah, absolutely. So, it, and there are times that you have to um, be diplomatic with people when people come up and say, I want to hear Nickelback. And the bride and groom has said, please don't play Nickelback. And so you got to make a joke of, oh, sorry, even though everything is digital and easily accessible now. Oh, sorry, I left that one at home. Sorry about that, buddy. Oh, that one's scratched.
Yeah.
I can't
Or I
play
played
that.
it earlier, I
Yeah,
swear.
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Just having too much fun.
Yeah.
If you could give a tip to couples, what would it be?
I could, you know what? Okay, here's my tip to couples. And some vendors may not like me for this, but it affects me as well. You got a budget, stick to your budget, but also apply and allocate your budget to what your priorities are. So if the priorities are the ceremony and that's it, then spend your budget a good portion on your ceremony. If a good portion is for the party, then talk to your entertainment and get a good portion of that budget spent on the entertainment, and figure out, work together on ways that you could do things to really pump up your party. So there are different things and different priorities for different couples. And when you've got a budget, yeah, stick to the budget, but also allocate to things that are really important to you. Put a little bit more money into something that's super important to you.
I 1000% agree.
Yeah.
I tell all of my couples that because if food is more important, or like you said, entertainment's more important,
Mm-hmm.
then you can scale back on the venue or
Mm-hmm.
decor or something and be able to have an amazing entertainment experience, whether
Yeah.
that's live entertainment, DJ, dancers, whatever that is.
Because you will get what you pay for. And if something is super important to you and you put more money into it, then you are really gonna love it.
The uplighting and
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
the good vibes. Yeah, I'm a big music buff. I love music, and that would be very important for me
Mm-hmm.
is to have like I'm always dancing. So I always need to be on that dance floor. So
Yeah, I always got a toe tapping as well. So,
yeah. Do you kind of find yourself
oh, of
groove into the
course.
music? Yeah.
Yeah, my body can't stop. I do it and I don't even realize I'm doing it.
That I feel is an excellent DJ and an amazing DJ because you see the passion, and that's what's
Mm-hmm.
also important is you want to have a vendor that's passionate about what they're doing. And
Yeah, you were asking me about, advice, maybe not necessarily for the couples. You asked me about advice for the couples, but I'm talking about just advice for DJs out there is connecting. Everything's gone digital. And so now you got a computer in front of your face. And I find that takes away from connecting with your audience. And the more you can make eye contact, make a smile, your stage presence, that is going to connect with people and they're going to want to become your friend. And friends they like to party together. So, that's what I think a lot of people don't consider, some of those smaller details when it comes to entertaining people.
that's a great tip. I love that. David, are you open? Do you have openings in 2025 and 2026?
So fortunately, because we are a multi-op company, we can take quite a few bookings. And right now, I'd say we're probably one or two bookings on the busy nights, traditional busy nights for the summer, but we've got room for more. So
And if someone listening to us today wants to reach out to you, how would they reach out?
they can get a hold of me they can call me. I'm actually a person who answers my phone.
That's very rare.
It's very
Very
rare,
good.
but I actually answer my phone and I call people back. So 403-589-8269 is my number. And you can always, we're revamping at this moment, having this interview, we're revamping our website. So by the time people see this, and if they check out our website, it might be done. But you can go to the website. You can send a message through the website if you want, or there's contact information on there. Europroductions.ca is the website.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, David. I really appreciate it. And I'm so excited to find another enthusiastic vendor out there. And I wish you all the best of luck and can't wait to talk to you again.
Thank you very much. Do you mind if I add one thing?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to end this with letting people know that because I'm in broadcasting, I do a morning show where I do cut-ins, and I want to start promoting that if the grooms, because this is a really funny thing about the wedding industry, the grooms are usually responsible for one thing, and that's the entertainment, and that seems to be the trend. Um, and if the grooms want to do just a little bit more, something kind of special, I've got a really good innovative idea for the groom to come in, get all their favorite songs compiled, and make the dinner music sound like a radio show with the groom announcing all these important songs in their relationship and why they're important, and surprise your bride with it. She'll have no idea and it will sound like a professional radio show being broadcast during the dinner with all your favorite songs and you announcing it and letting them know this is why I love my wife so much.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I
So,
am going to just make a note for my future couples. Um, as you know, I'm a wedding planner for Forever Yours
mhm.
wedding planning, so I will definitely talk to my couples and try and integrate that and reach out to you.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think it's something nobody's done it, nobody's doing it, and I think it would be really cool. And I think it would go viral on TikTok.
Absolutely. Yes, and that's all that matters right now is
That's all that
going
matters.
viral
Yeah,
on TikTok.
I think so. Anyway, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate
Thank
it,
you so much, David.
Christy.
Have a wonderful day.
Okay.